Hello and welcome to Meal Prep Monday. So I thought I'd jump on live with you guys today and just show you what I'm meal prepping out for the week. So Mondays is the day where I get some of my stuff done. My eldest is at school. I've got the little ones home with me, but generally when it's nap time is when I can get into doing my prep work and cooking. Although Blake's not asleep yet, so we'll see how we go today. So I've got two things that we're going to make today. I've got like a zucchini, leek and bacon pancake that I'm going to make. And I've also got some protein muesli bars that I have been tweaking a recipe on. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do both of these things at the same time, because I'm really clever at multitasking. Okay, so what I've already grated some stuff and diced my bacon just to save me a bit of time and so you're not watching me do that. So I've got 1.5 cups of leeks in here, 1.5 cups of leeks, 2 cups of zucchini and about 6 slices of bacon. I really like bacon, so I never skimp on that. But you could certainly make this a vegetarian option by leaving the bacon out. You could add some cheese if you wanted to add some feta cheese or something in there. This is really an open recipe that you can do quite easily, adding or taking anything out that you prefer. So I'm making a low carb version today, so I have almond flour or almond meal. I'm just going to pop that in the bowl as well. I have got, what have I got here, some buttermilk. So I don't buy buttermilk. I actually make my own, which is just lemon juice and normal milk. I don't know if it works if you have almond milk or something like that. So that was just normal full cream milk. I know it works with light milk, but just if you mix a little bit of lemon juice, and you can Google it quite easily how much you need to mix. For 1 cup of buttermilk, you mix 1 teaspoon of lemon juice into your milk mixture, and you just wait for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then it's almost like it curdles a little bit and will go a little bit lumpy, and that's how you make your buttermilk. So that's a really good trick. Not to buy buttermilk because it can actually be quite expensive as well. So I'm just cracking 3 eggs into this mix, and I'm lucky enough that my dad has chickens, so I get, I'd like to say farm, but he doesn't live on a farm, he just has chickens in his backyard. But I have free fresh range eggs coming to my door, so I'm really lucky for that. So I've just cracked my eggs in there. I tipped in the buttermilk, and I've got my almond meal in there as well. And I just need half a teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm just going to pop that in at the same time. Tip that in. Just checking off that I've got all my ingredients in there. I have a way of getting distracted when I'm chatting and cooking. I'm just going to mix this all together, and then I will show you guys the consistency. I'm just mixing this with a wooden spoon, and I will show you, I'm a bit of a messy cook, the consistency before I put it into the fry pan to start cooking off. I did squeeze out the zucchini a little bit after I grated it, so I took some of the moisture out from there. And the leeks that I had, if you're not familiar with using leeks, it's obviously green at the top and white at the bottom. You only use the white bit, so you don't use the green part at the top. And what you do, so you cut that green part off the top, and what you do with that bottom section is just really finely slice it up, and then make sure you give it a really good wash, because leeks have a lot of dirt inside them, obviously just the way they grow in the ground. It can be quite dirty, so make sure you really pull them apart and wash them properly before you put that in. And that's literally it. That's our mixture together. I'll show you up there, if you can see that all right. So it's quite a wet mixture, but I guess you could squeeze it out a little bit more if you want. My leeks were frozen, So that might be another reason why my mixture looks a little bit wet as such. Now I'm just turning my stove on here. Got a fry pan ready to go. Just put a little bit of olive oil spray in there. Lakey's off to bed. Bedtime. So while my oven is just heating up there, and my stove is just heating up, I've just got a ladle spoon that I'm going to put into a mixture. I like making pancakes quite large. I don't make them into a pikelet size, so I'm going to use like a full spoon here. I pop that into the pan, sort of flatten it out down a little bit, and I'm going to cook it quite slow. I'm just going to cook that. I've got an induction stove, so I'm going to cook that just on a low to medium heat because I want to make sure that everything cooks in between. So I didn't pre-cook the bacon into that dish. I just got raw bacon in there as well. So I want to make sure that I cook the pancake nice and slow to make sure that I'm really cooking through all the bacon and I'm not left with this wet kind of pancake. Alright, so while the pancake's cooking, we are going to make some protein muesli bars. This is a recipe I've been playing with over the last couple of weeks. I have a philosophy that the first time you make something you stick to the recipe 100%, however the recipe guides you through, and then the second time and the times following after that you tweak the recipe to suit you a little bit more. And I find that a really good way to just be able to sort of just bring it into what I want to eat a bit more. If I know the kids need something a little bit differently, I just realised I forgot an ingredient. If the kids like something a little bit different, or I think that they won't like something particularly, yeah, I'll just tweak it around to suit that. So, we are making some protein muesli bars. Now if anyone buys those protein bars from the supermarket, you'll know for one that they are really expensive. And I used to be a big fan of them, and I caught myself out saying to my kids once, oh, this is mummy's healthy chocolate. And I realised how much that really didn't make sense to them, that it was mum's healthy chocolate. And then I really started to see that I had no idea what was even written on the back of the packet. So although I felt good that I was having something that had nearly no sugar in it, really low carbs, tasted quite good, it really wasn't a healthy option, and I wanted to start doing some more things from scratch. So I found this protein muesli bar recipe. I have just put two scoops of protein powder in the bowl here. The recipe did call for chocolate protein powder, but I don't have chocolate protein powder. I only buy vanilla because I find it's more versatile to be able to use in cooking and in different ingredients. So if I wanted to make this chocolate, I would add probably maybe a tablespoon of cacao powder, or I guess you could just put in a little bit of cocoa, or if you have drinking chocolate, some Cadbury drinking chocolate, or some Quick if you really wanted to make it chocolate. But just be mindful that you're then adding sugar into your mixture if you do that. So I have got 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder here. I have got 1 cup of rolled oats, quick oats, and I'm also going to put in, I've got some of this Macros Gentle Fibre, it's called, so I'm going to pop that in as well. The original recipe that I made had 2 cups of oats in there, but I just found that a little bit heavy for that. I do tend to enjoy eating a lower carb lifestyle, so it was a little bit too much for me. So I substituted 1 cup of the oats with 1 cup of the Gentle Fibre, and that's got some linseeds in there. It's got a great mix of, let me see if I can find the ingredients, oat bran, linseed, psyllium husks. Yeah, so just a good mixture of different things. I'm just going to check on my pancake. Alright, that's cooking away nicely there. So I've tipped in my oats, my protein powder, my fibre. I've got 3/4 of a cup of nut butter. If you guys saw my stories on the weekend, I bought some of that Wow butter, I think it's called Wow butter. So this is peanut free. I love peanut butter. I'm a big fan of peanut butter, but obviously the kids can't have that at school. So I have bought the Wow butter to see if I can, how it tastes. I did taste it by itself and I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. It's not something I wouldn't put it on a cracker or I wouldn't have it on toast, but maybe cooking it into something it'll taste okay. I'm just going to flip. Oh, I've made this way too big. I'm just going to flip this over. Keep cooking that there. Alright, so I've got my nut butter in here. Then I am putting in 2 tablespoons of melted coconut. I didn't even have to melt this actually because it's quite warm here on the south coast, so I literally just poured out of my jar. My coconut oil is just all liquid, so I didn't have to melt that, otherwise I would have melted that quickly in the microwave. 1/3 of a cup of honey or maple syrup. I had some rice malt syrup in the cupboard, so I've used that. Rice malt syrup is normally sort of suggested instead of honey, but to be honest, if you look at the back of the packet, it still has quite a lot of carbohydrates. So if you're looking for a lower carb option, rice malt syrup isn't actually going to do you any benefits. You would be better off going with like a sugar-free maple syrup or something like that. But again, you would have to see how you felt about the sweetener options. Because if you're quite sensitive to sweeteners, you probably won't like using a sugar-free maple syrup. Okay, so I've put in my honey or my rice malt syrup, 1/4 of a cup of chocolate chips. Now I use white chocolate because I am quite a sweet tooth. I do like that, and I buy the sugar-free ones. I think it's no shoe that it might be called. So that's a great option. Again, it has sweetener in it, so you have to see your sensitivities to those sorts of things. And that is it. That's everything in a bowl, and all we do is mix it around to bring that all together. I'm just going to check on that pancake again while I'm mixing that. Grab another spoon as well. And I'm actually going to cook another one while I finish off this protein muesli bar because I made it way too big. I was just getting excited about eating soon. I made that way too big and it fell apart. I couldn't flip it because it was too big. That's what I get for trying to be greedy. Alright, so I'm going to keep mixing this muesli mixture so the honey or the maple syrup is helping bring together all those dry ingredients. That peanut butter, or my fake peanut butter, my Wow butter. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. I made these last week or the week before and they were so good, but I did have to tweak it over a little bit. Now if you had to use just a normal baking tray, put your baking paper in there first. I like using the silicone molds because they make life a lot easier, to be honest. They're easy to flip and then you can just bend it to get the muesli bar out. And I like trying to be a little bit better for the environment, so it's handy to put that straight into the silicone and then I don't need to use anything else. So it obviously saves money as well from not having to buy that and saves the environment, so double win. So here's what it looks like, that mixture. You can see it's quite crumbly. It's not really all sticking together, but it's definitely come together. And now I'm just tipping it straight into my silicone mold. Scrape that all out. Make sure I've got all my ingredients in there. Alright, I'm going to check on my pancake over here. Alright, cooking that up a little bit now. Alright, now I'm just using the back of a spoon to press my protein mix down. So my protein muesli bar mixture, I'm just pressing this down really firmly. Now this part's really important to make sure you spend some time pressing it down into your mold. Otherwise, when you cut it and you go to eat it, if you're finding that your mixes are really crumbly and kind of messy, this will be why. You really need to press it down to get it all nice and firmly packed. Alright, squash that all down. Now when I made it last time, I actually had a little bit of dark chocolate in the fridge, and I like my chocolate in the fridge. I believe chocolate should go in the fridge and you need to eat chocolate cold. That's another debate all in itself. But yeah, so I melted down some dark chocolate and put that on top. But to be honest, it really didn't need it because it's quite sweet with the chocolate chips in there, and the vanilla protein powder is really quite sweet as well. So here we go. Smooth it all off. And that's it, that's done. You can see that's in the mold there, it's all pressed down. If you did want to do a little bit of squiggle of chocolate or something on top, if you wanted to put some more chocolate chips on top, you could. But to be honest, it really doesn't need it, or I don't feel that it did need that to get by with it. I was actually having this, I was breaking up the muesli bar last week and putting it with a little bit of cashew yogurt, which is quite nice, a dairy-free alternative. So that's it. We put this in the fridge now. It needs about 3 hours to set. I'll probably try and leave it overnight if I can, just because it gives it a little bit longer. I just pop it in the fridge like that. I don't put any Glad wrap or anything over the top. I just pop that straight in the fridge and that's done. So my zucchini pancake is almost ready. And I made a salad before, just a little bit of a garden salad, some lettuce, tomato, cucumber, some grated carrot while I was getting everything else ready. And I'm literally going to put my pancake straight on top, like so. Turn that off. Turn that off. And there we go. Lunch prep for probably the next 3 days. I'll be able to get out of that. So we've got our nice zucchini, bacon, pancake on top, fresh garden salad, pop a little bit of dressing of your choice on there. You've got your protein muesli bars set out in the fridge. I get about 16 muesli bars out of that, so that's great for the family. And now I've tried it with the wow butter, which means the kids will be able to take it to school. But if not, save it for an afternoon treat, or don't give it to them at all and keep it all for yourself. That's a nice option as well. So I hope you enjoyed this little Monday meal prep session, and I look forward to bringing more to you. If you have anything specific you would like me to make or show you how to coordinate, you can see I think we've been online for 20 minutes, less than. And we've got 2 dishes made and stuff that's going to be lasting us for the next few days. So meal prep, once you get your head around how to do it, it's definitely something that once you implement it, you'll never go back. It just makes everything that little bit easier. So I hope you enjoyed those hacks for today. I am going to sit down and enjoy my lunch while my little one's having a nap and enjoy some quiet time. So have a great day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.